What's up, guys? Steve here with another update that could change everything for unemployment and the stimulus package negotiations. As we've heard that since elections have unfolded, the Democratic Party, well, it's a little bit of a mess. And they're saying that right now they have not seen the results after the elections that they were hoping for, and they're turning on their leader, Nancy Pelosi, who was calling out the blue wave. So, in this video, I'm going to get you caught up on what has unfolded. I'm going to share with you guys two news reports that have come out that have a little bit of a different story, but what we're hearing is that Nancy Pelosi, she might not be the Speaker of the House anymore. And if that is the case, that could change everything for stimulus package negotiations and where we stood with all of the provisions. So, in this video, I'm going to get you caught up on all of the details as to what's unfolded. And if you like that, before we dive in, if you could just do me a quick favor, it'll just take a second. Smash the like button. I would appreciate it. It helps out the channel. Like button, comments, and sharing these videos out with anybody who might need to hear them supports the channel. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And also, if you want to stay up to date on everything that's unfolding right now, be sure to smash the subscribe button and the notification bell so that way as soon as I upload videos, you can get notified right away. And also be sure to follow me on Instagram at SteveRam3. All right, guys, so let's dive right in and let's take a look at this first news report that I saw here. Now, I want to warn you, this actually came from Fox. So my initial reaction, I was a little bit skeptical, probably like you would be too, that they're going to be biased against the Democrats. And I'm going to read for you the title here. It says, House of Cards, Pelosi to have a hard time becoming Speaker, GOP officials say. But then I started seeing other reports coming out saying similar things and actually harsher than this news report said as well. And in here, pretty much it covers it. It says the Democrats will have a slimmer majority in 2021. And what they're saying is that a lot of Democrats in Congress were actually very disappointed with the results of the election, that they were following their leader, Nancy Pelosi, who was calling for a massive blue wave that was supposed to happen. She was saying that Joe Biden would win the presidency. She said the Senate would now be controlled by the Democrats, and she said the House would take even more seats for the Democrats, and we would see a massive blue wave of Democratic control. Well, as you know, now that the results of the elections are starting to come out, it turns out that that is actually the opposite. It turns out the Senate, it looks like, is going to be controlled by the Republicans. The Republicans have taken more seats in the House, though the Democrats still maintain control. They don't have as much control as they had before. And the presidency, well, we're still going to see what's going to unfold there. But overall, what they're saying is that a lot of Democrats in Congress are not happy with what has unfolded. And they're actually blaming Nancy Pelosi's, what they're saying, mishandling of the stimulus package agreements. They're saying that that drastically hurt their positions in Congress. So they're calling out potentially to have her removed. And they're calling out New York Senator Hakeem Jeffries to be her replacement, saying that he's the only one qualified at this time. But in the report, it actually says that he denies that and says that he doesn't want to be a part of it. And they actually called out another senator as well who said that he didn't want to take her place either. So I was a little bit skeptical, but then I saw this other one come up as well. Let's take a look at this one right here. It says, Nancy on the brink. Democrats are now plotting to oust Pelosi as Speaker after their House majority shrunk amid her refusal to do a COVID deal as AOC-led squad circles the embattled leader. It reads that House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is facing tough questions about her ability to win enough votes to retain her leadership after Democrats shrunk their House majority and moderates in the party plotted to back a challenger. Democrats went into Tuesday night expecting to pad their majority in the House by marching deeper into President Donald Trump's 2016 win territory, but instead Republicans made gains. Already two centrist Democrats in the House say they are contacting colleagues to round up support for House Democrat Caucus Chairman Hakeem Jeffries, a top Pelosi lieutenant, for Speaker in the next Congress, according to The Hill. Several moderate House Dems only won tough re-elections after vowing not to back Pelosi for another term as Speaker, and they view Jeffries as a potential establishment leader who could garner support from Republican Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez powerful squad of progressives. Now listen to this. He bridges moderates and progressives better than anyone. And most importantly, he's not Nancy Pelosi, one Democratic lawmaker told The Hill of Jeffries. He's the only one prepared and positioned to be the speaker. One of the things that I think is funny is that they are getting these reports, and we keep hearing that Democrats are turning against Pelosi, but they're not sharing who it is or who's saying this. But we are getting word, and we're seeing from these reports that they are in fact turning against her and are questioning her leadership. It says, publicly, Jeffries has shot down any notion of seeking the top leadership role, remaining loyal to Pelosi and saying he is focused on retaining his current job. That's exactly what I read from the Fox report as well. It says the speaker is chosen by a majority vote of the entire House, meaning that in theory, a handful of centrist Democrats could force the party's hand in the case of a slim majority by threatening to side with Republicans. Now, AOC is getting in on this as well, as it says, however, it is unclear whether Ocasio-Cortez's powerful faction would back Jeffries for Speaker, after she previously threatened to back a primary challenger against the fellow New York Democrat in the 2020 elections. All 4 members of AOC's squad won re-election on Tuesday, and the faction added 3 new progressive allies in districts in Missouri and New York. Pelosi was notably quiet on Wednesday regarding her party's shrinking margins in the House. She didn't directly address her losses in a letter to her Democratic colleagues, aside from calling the elections challenging. And this next part is something similar to what I read in the Fox News report, where it says, House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy, a California Republican, said the erosion of the Democratic majority could threaten Pelosi's grip on the Speaker's chair. I know the vote on the floor is difficult for Speaker. I know there was a number of people who did not vote for her last time, McCarthy said in a press conference Wednesday, alluding to the Democrat defectors 2 years ago. And as our numbers continue to grow, I think at the end of the day, no matter where we end up, we'll be able to have a very big say or even run the floor when it comes to policy, McCarthy predicted. After the 2018 election, Pelosi survived a challenge to her leadership of the caucus, but was on more solid footing with her party's control of the House than she will be in this cycle. After the votes are all counted in Tuesday's elections, Republicans could very well have a net gain of 10 House seats. Pelosi led the House with 232 seats compared to the Republicans' 197 going into Election Day. But it now appears that the GOP will have somewhere north of 200 seats, holding a solid minority with more power than they've had in the last 2 years. The Democratic leader, along with chairwoman of the House Democrats' campaign arm, Republican Cheri Busto of Illinois, predicted a sunny outcome for Democrats Tuesday, claiming they would defend the 2018 gains and flip districts previously thought to be in safe Republican territory. Quote, I think we are going to see some wins in these deep red districts that over time you're going to see going from ruby red to purple to even blue, Busto said Tuesday. All right, I'm going to put a link down in the description below if you'd like to check out the article for yourself, but it continues on pretty much elaborating on that topic right there, that potentially the Democrats have lost a lot of power in the House, the Republicans maintain control in the Senate, and a lot of Democrats seem to be very unhappy with the leadership of Nancy Pelosi. So we're going to see if Nancy Pelosi is going to remain the Speaker of the House. Now, keep in mind that if she moves out of her position, that this could drastically change where things stand with stimulus package negotiations, which is why actually we saw a lot of it come to a halt, because we wanted to see what was going to unfold with what they were calling this new Congress, because as positions change, so also might stances and what's going to unfold with the stimulus package and unemployment and all the provisions. So as things unfold here, I'll be sure to keep you guys up to date, but I wanted to share this with you. This is big news that if Nancy Pelosi is removed, a lot of things could change. So, as I said, if you haven't already, if you could just do me a quick favor, if you like these updates, smash the like button. I would appreciate it. I'll be sure to keep you guys up to date as things come out. And if you'd like to stay up to date on that, be sure to smash the subscribe button and the notification bell, so that way as soon as I upload these videos, you can get notified right away. And also, like I said, be sure to follow me on Instagram if you don't already at SteveRam3. Well, you guys, I hope this reaches you well. I'll be sure to keep you up to date. God bless. Take care. This is Steve.